So I wanted to speak on, by the way, welcome to the show. You're watching UAP Troop 33. I'm John, I'm your host. And today I got a great one for you because it appears, well, it doesn't appear, it happened. Stephen Bassett was on Christina Gomez's podcast, I believe it was last night. And Stephen Bassett, he's like a lobbyist for the UAP community. And he lobbies government to disclose. That's basically what he does. And he really does a hell of a job at it. Let me fix this. He really does a hell of a job at it because what he claims is there's so much pressure built up right now at this point in time that he claims Trump is going to be the disclosure president. He's going to be the president to disclose to the public the UAP phenomenon and the ET, extraterrestrial presence, that's his words, on the planet. He thinks there's strong evidence that they have come from the stars and that they've been here for a really long time. And he's just a really fascinating individual. I want you guys to watch this clip and then I'll be back. And please go to his website, check out, man, there's all kind of stuff on there. And, they're trying to raise money to, they're doing important work. And they are. So, yeah, check this out. I'll be right back.
Every single president since Roswell has known about the ET presence. Be assured of that. And then she wants a hearing for appointees. A lot of people overlooked that. They didn't realize how important that little statement was. Appointees? What's the difference between appointees and witnesses? It was not an issue you want to get into for 78 years. It's the equivalent of the emperor's new clothes, where the emperor is brought out in front of the village people and told that he has a wonderful new set of clothes because they convinced him that they were real, but in fact there's no clothes and the emperor's naked. Disclosure is the only thing I can even come close to imagining that can change this road to oblivion.
Stephen, welcome to Shifting the Paradigm. How are you today?
I am fine, dear. It's a pleasure to be with you on this fine day.
Thank you for being here.
But the thing that clinched it for me was John Mack's book, Abduction. It said to me, this thing is happening. It's going to happen. It's going to be huge. And this is what I think I'd like to do if I can find a way in. And fortunately, there was one. In the back of the book was an address and a phone number. And I called them up and somehow convinced them to let me volunteer, which is something I wish I had done when I was younger, because you can volunteer for almost anything. But if you're chasing a paycheck, well, it narrows it way, way down. Went out there and spent 4 months. It was a wonderful 4 months. It got me going. And it was up there that I realized the path I needed to take. And that was based on a simple idea that the presence of these non-technologically advanced non-humans, which as far as I'm concerned are from other stars, well, others just can't abide that. So they feel more comfortable if they're from another dimension or the future. What can I say? That the problem wasn't science. It wasn't proving it. It occurred to me there'd been more than enough proof. Decades of research and books and sightings and reports. What's the problem? The problem is it was a national security classified matter. So I finally arrived on July the 4th, 1996, and very quickly set up and got a registration in and was the first person to register as a lobbyist. Could I do any lobbying? No. Nobody wanted to talk to a UAP lobbyist, I assure you. But it was a marker. It was a simple statement that if this issue is real and therefore is important, as one can imagine, there should be a lobbyist, shouldn't there? But what I ended up doing is the media has covered this thing. It's covered pretty much everything. What it hasn't done is investigated it. They haven't pushed the government on it, but they've actually covered it. And you start reading these articles, you realize, well, yeah. And in the last 7 years, they've really covered it. I've got 7,000 articles linked since 2017.
And you mentioned your website where you can find thousands of articles. What's the name of that website? Plug it in.
ParadigmResearchGroup.org.
And that link will be in the description box below as well for those that want to catch all those links.
So there you go. That's Stephen Bassett. I just wanted to, for those of you that don't know about him, I mean, he's up there in my eyes with like he's pretty close to like Stephen Greer when it comes to being one of the first in modern times to really get out there in front of this issue. And actually, he's a lobbyist for the UAP community. I mean, so yeah, check out New Paradigm. I think it's newparadigmgroup.org. Is that what it is? Check that out. Um, yeah, man, it's important. Like he said, the evidence is out there. I mean, he has articles from the media. It's been covered. Um, and it's funny because we act like this is a new thing, and it's not. You know, when you really dig into the National Archives, you see that this has all been done before. This play, you know, this is like a sequel. House Representatives had hearings on this. They had Blue Book, you know, all this same song and dance has been done before, which makes this is one of the reasons why I say I'm jaded on the subject because I just don't want this to end like that did, Condon report and all that, where uh the main guy Condon before they even I'm not even gonna say his first name. It's irrelevant because you know he's insignificant in the history of this subject anyway. Before they even started uh researching this and looking into the cases, they had already come to the conclusion that it was a waste of time. So much for the Condon report. And I hope that today the same thing doesn't happen. I hope that we can keep the pressure on. And according to Stephen Bassett, I mean, this thing is coming to a head, and Trump is going to be the disclosure president. And he's talking about it like it's already happened. Like this is already signed and sealed. It's done deal. It's just a matter of time. We got 3.5 more years of Trump for him to get his act together and for Rep Luna and them to do their jobs and to get this out there and to just come out and just say it. And that brings me to the subject of okay, so when they do come out and they do say, hey, this is a real phenomenon. UAP are here. They're real. They're in our skies. They're over our nuclear bases. They're shutting down our Air Force bases. We're having to move jets to other places because these things, for 17 straight nights, they shut down Langley. But when he does come out and he does say these things are real, and he does say there's a non human presence on this earth, an intelligence far greater than ours, who's way ahead of us, who have the ability to manipulate gravity, time, and space, what's the public going to say? I'm going to tell you, at least 50% of them is going to say bullshit, you know? But who cares, right? I just want them to say it. And then we can move on from there, And it's already kind of lost its taboo in the academic field, There's a group that's studying UAP right now.
We've got the Society for UAP Studies, unbelievable group. They've just come together in the last year. 30 PhDs. It's amazing. I assume they're raising money and worthy of that. There's been no group ever like it. I mean, PhDs from a bunch of colleges. I mean, the real deal. And so the academic stigma is just about gone. There's that, and then you've got the New Paradigm Institute, which is preparing itself to deal with the post-disclosure world and has got a vast website and a lot of projects, and they've raised a few $100,000. They need to raise millions. Hopefully people will do that. And so right away, you're going to see all these groups really trying to take advantage of the disclosure event to get money. Why? Not to buy yachts. Get money so that they can influence the post-disclosure world. This is one of my number one concerns, is that when disclosure happens, will the organizations created by my colleagues, the people you and I know, that have serviced this issue at great sacrifice for decades, will these organizations be shut out by the big organizations that will come together post-disclosure from various aspects of our society and foundations, as well as the business, corporate, to create how to engage the post-disclosure world? Will these entities be shut out? Meaning, good job every American needs to get to minimize the anxieties. I mean, that's even possible these days. Is this: everything that has happened, let's just take the last 7 years. Everything that has happened since the New York Times articles of December of 17 came out, and then things started happening and witnesses coming forward and talking privately to members of Congress and the media going up. And then you got some legislation and the hearings and this and that, everything, and the creation of Arrow or the task force and then Arrow and yada, 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 the whole package. Everything that has been happening, in case you didn't know it, is not about trying to find out finally what this is. No, not at all. Zero. The U.S. government has known what it is for decades. It's known what it is since Roswell. The government is well aware. We have vehicles in the sky. We have crash vehicles in our hands. We have ET bodies. The government knows about them. Those that need to know in the government know. And a lot of people that don't need to know. So it's not about that at all. But I can understand why people are thinking, oh, they set up Arrow to get some, reports in and whatever, and look at them, and study them, and come up with trying to maybe understand what is this thing going on. No. Not at all. So if it's not about finding out what's going on, what is it about? And this is where it gets tricky, okay? Everything that has been going on. Now, not everybody involved in it. This elaborate process is now 7 years in the making, may know this. They may think that it is about trying to find out what's going on, and they're playing their role, whether they're passing legislation or they're sitting on a committee, whatever. Not everybody understands what I'm about to say, even the ones that are involved. But it applies to them and everyone else. All of this is about getting disclosure. A substantial element within the military intelligence complex came to the realization that the truth embargo was not going to live forever. That its time was coming to an end.
So there you have it. That's Stephen Bassett. Man, I love him. I love him. Stephen Bassett, dude. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Bassett. I could just sit and listen to him talk about disclosure, talk about the phenomena all day long because he has such a vast knowledge of the subject. And he has such a vast understanding of not only the pre-disclosure world, but what it's going to look like after they disclose. And he's pretty sure that Trump's going to be the disclosure president, that we're on the cusp of this. The pressure is coming to a head. There's too many whistleblowers, too many people coming out, too many people that have a conscience that understand that we're being held back as a society, as a global society. And there's technologies, there's sciences out there that they've been repressing that would actually level the playing field between third world countries and us. And this is one of the reasons why they don't want to let that out of the bag. But it's getting to the point where they're going to have to, because if they don't, another country's going to do it, and we're going to get caught with our pants down. So we need to start developing these things, which I suspect that a lot of these technologies have already been developed to a certain amount. Matthew Brown has said as much, that there's been aspects of these advanced technologies that we've been able to develop. And I think that we use a lot of it today, and we just don't know that it came from an extraterrestrial vehicle, technology. That it was either granted to us through some type of treaty, or there was a crash of some sort, at Roswell. And you only have to just go look at Philip Corso's book. You know, he says, fiber optics, Kevlar, night vision, all these things, the integrated circuit chip, microchips, things that we use just every day. Our cell phones. All this is technology from them. The others. We'll just call them the others. Uh, Stephen Bassett tends to believe they're extraterrestrials from space. Other people think they're. And I'm sure there's people that know what these beings are, where they come from. And I think, it's just a matter of time before we find out, you know, it's either different factions of one group or multiple groups that compete, very interesting. What do you guys think of what Stephen Bassett said? What do you guys think? I don't know, man. It's really interesting. How about them 30 PhDs that started that other group that's studying this? Yeah, man, we're living in very, very interesting times. Let me know what you think in the comments. Man, I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Please hit the like and subscribe, comment, share this with a friend, share it with 2 friends. I'm at 850 subscribers today. We're trying to get to 1,000. Small channel, but we're making progress. But thank you for your support. Till tomorrow. Peace.